Hello, this is Jack from MABRIK and welcome back to the Captain's Log. Owing to a very busy summer and I miss the season already, I figured we're gonna do an intermedium Captain's Log. We're probably not gonna continue with this format exactly down the line, but at least one more time, just to keep everyone in the loop. So, in the summertime, had my own personal new record, 24 consecutive days working, manning the desk, and simultaneously doing everything else. That's how busy this was. Kind of reminds me of that old saying, you know, when you're old, you don't have the energy, but you have the time and money type thing. We're not in the old sphere just yet, but overall, it sometimes feels like that. For sure. But mostly what I miss is the constant buzz of people. Always busy, nice and warm outside. After we did all the upgrades in Tukri as well, it's been really comfortable in here, and I feel it really reflected in the amount of people visiting us all the time. So from start to finish, we've had full houses almost daily. Had to cut back on some events even just to accommodate everyone, and overall best summer ever. Which brings us to September. The only good thing about September is it's gonna soon pass, and then we can have October and the rest of the goodness, because September is always a little on the slow side. People are still kind of getting back into the groove of things. God knows we also need the respite here and there, and you know, even if I say things like this, you know, it's still a mountain of madness. So E-Monday was completely off the charts again, very surprising in total sales, you know, board games won by a landslide this time. Being the birthday month, a lot of special happiness. Right now we have the birthday week sale for board games and RPGs, because we have such a big and constant flow of products coming in. Figured, you know, someone's gonna get a good deal on something and be very happy about it, which makes me happy also. So this time I'm gonna give a recap first about all the stuff I've watched or played, which isn't much because, you know, busy. But starting with Foundation Season 3, no matter what kind of misgivings I had about Season 2, I think Season 3 really brought the trophy home. It was completely unexpected in many ways, and I loved it. Of course, Wednesday, somehow the second season really surpassed the first one. Despite having a much larger cast, it all kind of came together really well. Murderbot, first season, loved it, very quirky. Kind of interested to see how it's going to progress down the line. Of course, Fantastic Four First Steps was probably the movie highlight of the summer for me. Superman, it was okay. But overall, the best of the lot for me was Star Trek Strange New World Season 3. For one, it had some of the best episodes ever. The first episode of the season, completely off the charts. The last episode, very different than what I would have expected. And of course, the one with the undead Klingons in the middle was just such a heavy contrast to almost anything Star Trek related. You gotta love that. And now I'm on the third season of Daryl Dixon. Out of all of the Walking Dead stuff, I still think it is the best. It shows more of the interesting aspects everyone has been wondering about the world, so, you know, lots of traveling involved, if you know what I mean. But for anyone who says that, you know, 2026 is going to be like the best year ever in terms of movies and whatnot, I think 2025 is already pretty damn good, because there's just so much stuff to still kind of look out for. Oh, of course, I forgot to mention Alien Earth. Love it! If you haven't seen it yet, you definitely should. The thing with the eye just completely like... But going back to all the stuff that's still coming out, so Predator Badlands is something I'm really looking forward to myself. The Tron Ares movie, because love Tron, and it's been a very long time since anything popped up, so that's nice. Avatar, kind of like a so-so feeling, but I'm still hopeful and am expecting the new movie myself. Gen V Season 2 could be interesting. Of course, Fallout Season 2, absolutely love it. Like I needed an excuse to replay Fallout New Vegas, but you know, I'm gonna take the win It, Welcome to Derry. I have been eyeballing that one for a long time because some prequel Stephen King It sounds wonderful, and leaving best for last, Stranger Things. While I initially was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for the full rotation, I had a date picked out. If I started watching and watched like one episode per day, I would like flawlessly go into season 5 when the part 1 hits, but then I'm like, yeah, something's definitely gonna come up, so I started watching that early. Again, like I need an excuse to watch Stranger Things. But with 4 seasons, it is a bit of a commitment. And the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a Game of Thrones spin-off, whenever the hell that's coming out, I think it should be November, but no one really knows. Could be fun. Game-wise, kind of taking a step back here. I mean, Silent Hill F, that looks very interesting. Might sink my teeth into that one because, you know, Silent Hill in a Japanese setting, always frightening, I guess, or at least it could be. Borderlands 4 is something I would have liked to pick up, but given how much literal shit the CEO has been posting online, I've decided to wait until it's like €5 for the whole bundle or something, and then I'm gonna jump into it. I don't care how good it is. If you're a big company bullying its clients, shame on you. Not cool. Aside from this, the only game I'm really waiting for right now is Star Trek Voyager, because it's Voyager. What's not to love about it? Everything else has been very low-key. I finally got my hands on Void War, an FTL clone of sorts in the 40k-ish universe of Warhammer, and while I still miss the original, it has been good enough to pass the time here and there as much as I can play it. And since, for whatever reason, maybe it's the Helldiver thing coming to Xbox finally, really been into Starship Troopers. In fact, I've been looking up all the movies I have not seen, but you know, after the first one, they get progressively worse. So, in game-wise, there's not much to choose from. There's an RTS of sorts available on Steam, and has been like sort of enjoyable. Moving on to the main stuff we do, like I said, summer was very busy. We've probably restocked the store from top to bottom 4, 5, 6 times now. You know, still to the day, Gundams are taking the charge on a lot of things. TCGs are... it still sucks. There's no sugarcoating this. Everything in the TCG world now sucks, because even Flesh and Blood has become so unreliable in delivering pre-orders, we're not having any. What you gonna do? So Star Wars is my last hope, but you know, with the Secrets of Power now coming out, the only dark side thingy is that, you know, we didn't get the planetary qualifier because supposedly there's so much interest in it. They had to give ours to a dinky Finnish company, so good luck with that. I would have rented a ballroom in a hotel somewhere just to accommodate all the people we could potentially host, but at least we're on a waiting list. On the Bandai front, with One Piece, Digimon, and the Gundam card game, we have a contract now, and it's a bit different in terms of the event management system. So right now we have a preliminary calendar, so you know, One Piece, Digimon, One Piece, Gundams. I mean, I haven't really seen people play around here, but we always can add it up, and we'll see how that goes. So there's going to be a delay before we actually get official promotional materials for events. You have to register up front like a few months, but late October and November we should be in the running. But like I said, it's a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. Warhammer has been killing it all summer long and continues to do so. We have steady good releases and sort of like international fame. I mean, even the Finnish people are coming over because they know we have the best selection in the region, so for Daniel. Magic-wise, it's been so-and-so. We're trying to keep it slow and steady. So this weekend we're running the Spider-Man pre-release, but essentially we're cutting back on all pre-orders. Period. It's such a horrible hassle with the TCGs nowadays. You never know how much you're gonna get stuff, and you know, no matter how much we actually have, everything goes as wildfire anyway, so... And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is as is. But with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, everybody bitched and shouted so much they now found a new representative for Europe because the previous guy was just doing a piss poor job and pissing off everyone, and now things seem to be looking up a little bit. On that front though, here's my usual ranting bit. So, as usual, I don't understand Latvian and Lithuanian businesses. For me, they represent some kind of a weird Slavic business model. Don't you people have your own bloody Facebook groups or something? Or your only business model is poaching Estonians? Asking for a friend. Board game wise, it's been abound plenty. Vantage is something I am particularly looking forward, and for me it's a very important keyword too. You know, I feel like in the last 3 months or so, life has gotten like seriously weird, you know, everything that's happening worldwide. It's gotten to me to a point where I cannot care anymore. I am completely done. Like, Who's Stupider contest is ongoing, the Darwin Award. There's not a single jackass on the roster who I would even vote for in the local elections because, you know, their entire energy is going towards bashing their competition. Of course, nothing gets improved, you know, plus all the conservative people just wishing to go back to the Stone Age or the Soviet times or God knows where they're from. Bottom line, Vantage is my go-to game in this. It's probably gonna take us a while to actually get to it, but you never know when you're gonna be a glowing pile of ash or something else bad is gonna happen, or worse. So my focus is to just enjoy stuff and play all the games I want. Which is, you know, funny because this year we mostly played like City. That's it. But at least we loved it. Very much looking forward to it. This has given me the biggest boost of positive energy, period. Gotta love City. But as always, it's a complex board game, so not for all, and that's why Hues and Cues and Flip 7 are still completely dominating our sales charts. RPGs are still very popular. We've managed to fix our situation with the miniatures and the dice and having more of Dungeons and Dragons books, and significantly expanded on almost everything else we were kind of carrying. So it is a good time to be a nerd overall. Merchandise is all abound. I completely lost track of it. Cool stuff comes in, cool stuff goes out. And we have a very steady roster on our hands right now. And last but not least, very big expansion coming up for all of the comic books. Completely blew it out of the water. At some point there was like just insane demand. We had like dozens of people coming in every day. Almost completely cleared our backlog of all the older comic book issues, and everyone just kept buying stuff up in bulk. So from October onwards, we're gonna have a much bigger selection, and we're gonna expand on regular books and graphic novels as well. Our manga stuff just keeps growing and growing as it is. But you know, we focus on the stuff we actually know about a lot. So we're still getting into the anime thing, slowly but surely. Last on my list is news about the movie club. So what the hell is that? Essentially, it's me wanting to see cool movies on a big screen. In cooperation with Cinnamon, we've done a few of these things, you know. So War of the Rohirrim, Revenge of the Sith, I was like, make it happen, and it did happen. Especially the Revenge of the Sith. That was like a big personal win for me. So on the 2nd of October, we're gonna have another one of my all-time favorites, Alien 1979, on the big screen of the Cosmos Hall in Cinnamon. We might get up a second seance as well as we got our hands on the movie, but overall it's a limited experience. Going forward though, we're gonna have more and more of these things. I have some really good things planned out for November. December is a little bit here and there because usually that's the busiest time of the year for us anyways, and in October maybe we'll squeeze in an additional something for Halloween, because you know, September nice and mellow, October really hits it off, but mostly because of Halloween. Gotta like scary stuff. Otherwise, I'm grateful to all of our clients. It's been 8 years with the company. Lots of memories, lots of everything. Daily Skivvy is now 5 years old. And at our current pace, I'm just happy for all the people working for us. We have some new service personnel. So Katlin and Ilona are doing their very best and have received a warm welcome. We're expanding with the marketing team to be more steady in our productions. And that gives me time to actually properly plan for a lot of the new releases, because Essen is just around the corner, which means a lot of homework about all the upcoming things and where we can get our hands on them. Because if you don't pre-order, you probably are never gonna get it. Not on normal terms anyways. So we will continue to be the best version of ourselves. We have some more acute problems to solve in the immediacy, and we have the energy and the passion to move forwards and keep expanding what we have and who we are. But right now, just getting more tables somewhere is probably top of my list, and prepping the garden for winter, but mostly the table thing. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you have questions, you know how to find us, or you can post stuff in the comments like a barbarian. No judgment, just saying, and see you out there.